Do you want me to send you over my Twitch link, or do you have it?
I can find it
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
on Twitter.
Okay.
I shared your post
Thank you.
now,
Thank you.
people can join.
Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, and now
It's so that I can read the chat, most likely, right?
yeah. If there will be any Hungarian questions, I will translate it to you for sure.
Okay.
So yeah. Just don't forget to mute the stream itself, so there. Okay. I think let me check it if everything is working fine. I think let me check it if everything is working. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think let me check it. It seems 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Echo now. Oh yeah, because of the stream. Okay. It seems everything is working correctly. There is no lag. Perfect. Okay. Let me sit into my original position here. So many cables. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us know if we can start here. And also, like always, at the end of the interview, you will be able to ask questions too. Let me know if people will be just lurkers, then I will check it myself, and then we can actually start here. Let us know, ladies and gentlemen, let us know. I will also double check it, and then we can start. So double check it, and then we can start. So double check it, and then we can start. Okay, it seems it's working fine. Okay, Casper, let me know if we can start. Let me know if it's good.
We can start anytime.
Nice. Okay, so welcome everyone in the very new episode of my Dev Live show. I'm today joined with Casper Croes, who is the creator of the game called Alyssa. We can call it now a franchise, right? Because some days ago, the new sequel also were announced. So I'm very thankful and very honored that you joined us for today's episode. And like I'm always saying, let's start with a little bit of introduction. So please introduce yourself for us.
Actually, my name is pronounced as Casper Croes.
Okay. Sorry for.
It's actually good that I say so, because a lot of people say Croes, but it's actually Croes.
Okay. Croes. Okay. My bad.
Yeah. No, it's okay. But it's good that I say it live, so more people can know. So I've been doing game development for a while, actually. It's been my hobby my whole life, actually.
I see.
And I think Alyssa was the first time I did programming, because before Alyssa, I was actually pure artist. And to make a game, you also need to be able to program. And I didn't have this skill.
I see.
So it's only until the making of Alyssa that I could actually make something real. So
I see.
So Alyssa was my programming learning course, basically.
I see.
So that's also the reason why the game is a little bit jank, because the base of the game was created with almost zero knowledge of programming.
I see.
So it contained a lot of bugs that weren't able to be fixed unless I did like everything all over again.
I see.
Which I wasn't really into. So I kept patching the game, like trying to fix things. It's very difficult. And normally the new game, Alyssa Departing, was going to be a DLC, but I didn't want to build on top of this very fragile game. So I turned it into a spin-off so I could start fresh and less trouble with bugs that I cannot fix. So that's that.
I see.
And yeah, I don't know what else to say about myself.
No, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate your honesty and for the long running self description of your life and what you make for a daily job and as for a work, as for a hobby with video games. So I always ask this question first at my shows. What was your very first contact with video games as a player, if you remember those times of your past?
I think I remember I used to, when I was like 4, 5 years old. I
Okay.
was actually more into cartoons and more into or like animation movies, and I
see.
used to draw
I see.
animation movies and stuff, like my own ideas, and then we had a PC in the living room
I see.
that mostly my older brothers used to play
I see.
games on it, and then I started to learn that games exist, and then I switched to drawing games on paper,
I see.
like yeah, just basically a copy of what I saw, but changed into my own version.
I see.
And I remember not being interested in playing games. I think.
Oh, okay.
Also, I was a bit scared to play a game where you could lose. I
Okay.
think
I see. I see.
as a kid. Also, like my oldest brother used to play games like Doom and Duke Nukem, and Doom was very scary for me.
I see. I see. I see. It's interesting that you
But
ended up making a horror game, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I think at a certain age, like 6, maybe,
Okay.
I started to play like more serious games,
I
and
see.
then around the age of 7, 8, I start to do modding
I see.
and
I see.
make
I see.
games. So the moment I realized, like, whoa, you can just take a game, like mostly those games that are a little bit strangely put together by back in the day developers. You could change the graphics and stuff. So that's where it kind of started. Like and I bought on a garage sale like an old PC, and yeah, I started to work in start to make games in DOS, MS DOS,
I see.
like and mostly modded Duke Nukem 3D. So I did that for 10 years or something, or maybe longer.
I see.
Like 10 years, 10 years of that.
I see.
Yeah.
And when was the first time when you realized that, okay, now I'm in that position that you can switch from just being a hobby now to different level, different perspective, and now you can also like release your projects for money to get out there for the people, like to make an actual living from it?
I think it's because one of my brothers did a game development course
Okay.
in university.
Okay.
And he told me about Unity. Unity just became available for Windows because it was a Mac exclusive first, and
Okay.
he said it's a very good engine, and it's better for like making an actual game, because I was still busy with modding Duke Nukem 3D, and there was no like commercial possibility for like commercial use
I see.
that moment, because now there's Ion Fury that released, which is basically a Duke Nukem TC.
Okay.
So back in the day, it wasn't really a thing to turn it into a commercial product.
I
So
see.
I started to learn Unity, but yeah, with little programming knowledge, it's just a bit difficult to use, and I just made graphics and environments, and yeah, just small things.
I see. I see. Okay. More.
Um,
Oh no, go for that. Go for that. Go for that.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
No, no, go for that.
So it's actually also the thing is that well I lived in Belgium. I
Okay.
was born in Belgium,
Okay.
and the just the job in industry is not so great there.
I see.
So like I studied in the printing industry,
I see.
but after school, like after graduating, there was not really like a job for me.
I see.
So I had to like do the worst jobs ever,
Oh,
and and so I had this motivation to really get out of there
I see.
and
I see.
try to really turn game development into my work.
I see. I
But
see.
but like in Belgium, you need to show that you can that you studied for it to get a job somewhere.
I see.
So I tried many game companies in Belgium, but they were all like, you don't really have, you didn't really study for it, so
Hmm.
we cannot hire you. So I just made my own job.
But that
So
makes sense, right? Because you had the vision and the passion for it. So that makes sense that you
yeah.
did not give up by, these failures, like you mentioned, that they did not accept your
Hmm.
requirements. Yeah. Or applying for them. Yeah. I see.
Yeah. But in the end, I'm kind of grateful for it because now I'm just doing my hobby and
True.
I
True.
can live. So
And you're not limited with your vision as well, right? So there are no companies who limit your own vision, and you can do whatever
yeah,
you want by making games,
indeed,
right? So
yes.
yeah, yeah, it makes sense at the end of the day. Okay,
Hmm.
okay. How do you feel about, were your family and close friends supportive about this decision of yours that now you want to turn your hobby into your everyday life and make a living out of it? How do you feel about it?
I think well, I think they're happy for me that I can do this.
I see. I see.
Uh, um, yeah, yeah, it's not really like outside my wife, like except for my wife and her family, and well, I guess my family too. But it's just I'm like doing my thing,
I
and
see. I see.
yeah,
Do you think it's important to have a supportive background, even if it's on a financial, even if it's a more emotional level that supports you? How do you feel about it?
I think it's the emotional part that is the most important.
Okay, okay.
Um, yeah, I'm very grateful for my wife. I will just call her Arisa. Um, she also made the music for Alissa and the voice, and she did co-designing and stuff. But she brought me to the point that I could do what I do now. I think
I see.
maybe before that I didn't have the motivation, maybe uh, to 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 go further. But it's because of this emotional support that I could succeed in making Alissa.
I see. I see. So a question that always was in my mind when I was playing your game and I wasn't being able to talk with you like now, how did you came up with the name of the game? Because you choose it to be Alisa, right? And it's more of a
Yeah,
Russian, Ukrainian, European type of like name. Because in the US or in the American language at least, they say Alice, right? Or in the Hungarian from my language they say Olis, but Alisa is more like Russian, Ukrainian, European uh, form of that name. How did you came up with this form of this name? woman name?
It's actually because of when I first met Arisa.
Okay.
She's born in Japan,
Okay.
so that's why it's Arisa with
Oh,
an
I see.
R.
I see.
But her name is probably based on the more this Russia, Ukraine, the Alisa as we know.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to use her name.
It's a beautiful
just
name, and
change.
I had a
Yeah.
Ukrainian friend of mine who were named also Elisa. That's why I asked it. It was very interesting to see this, right? Because of all of those Alice in Wonderland stories, you hear Alice, right, mostly. But in the Russian folklore, they say Alice's стране чудес или something like that. Yeah.
It's interesting. I didn't know they called her Alisa.
Yeah, they
because
have a bit of a different folklore in Russia.
okay.
Alisa, yeah, and the folklore with the Wonderland tales.
The folklore.
Yeah. The Wonderland tales. Yeah. Which is connected to it. Yeah. Which to the name itself. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So that's where the game came from. The name. It was basically in the beginning. It was based on Alice.
I see.
Actually, I got the idea from playing a lot of like early Resident Evils. Around that moment, I was obsessed with it, and also the strange animation movie called Alice from the Czech animator Jan Svankmajer.
Okay.
And that's like a lot of like weird dolls and scary weirdness. And I got that idea, like, oh, dolls, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So, but later on, I changed and I went away with. I turned my back at to making an Alice game.
I see.
To make it something completely different.
I see.
But I guess the blue dress kind of stayed. So many people when they see Alyssa just being like not played yet, like if people didn't play the game yet, they see Alyssa and they think that it's an Alice game, but when they play it, it's not. They realize it's not an Alice game. But I'm glad that they still like it, even though it's not.
Yeah. I mean, it had some connections to the Alice universe or the folklore tales, but like, not way different in a way different form. I mean,
Yeah.
Was it, by the way, the story that came up first for Alyssa, or was it the gameplay itself that came first for the development process itself?
I think the story came first.
Okay.
And the gameplay, I already knew it would be like Resident Evil, but not like exactly how it is now. How the game turned out now.
I see.
Because it went quite like it has a little bit of a different spin on the genre. It's not like exactly like Resident Evil.
I see.
Some bit of different mechanics.
I see. You also mentioned, by the way, that you had this passion for old school games and also like making maps and playing with old school games. I believe that these, or at least most of these old school games, were pretty hard to complete, right? Was your vision the same with your games that you wanted to make, to have them this difficulty of very hard, goal to beat, or did you want it something like easier for the players to consume? How do you feel about it?
I think it's because I'm quite a Dark Souls fan.
Okay.
And I enjoy those games. and I thought I have to make something that's a little bit challenging.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and I actually before knowing Resident Evil, like, as a kid, I used to play Alone in the Dark, the
Nice.
original,
Nice.
and I think some people compare it more with the original uh, Alone in the Dark games.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. So what about the puzzles? When you were designing the puzzles, what was the aim and the goal with those puzzles? Did you want it to just have very hard puzzles, or did you want it to have an environmental storytelling puzzle box where you like those puzzles tell some more lore to the game?
I didn't really think of making something like storytelling, actually.
Okay, okay,
Just something that fits in the environment,
okay, okay.
something that is not too easy,
I see,
but not too hard.
I see,
Um, I did make one puzzle that was most likely too hard for some people.
I see.
Was the clock puzzle. Um, and in the beginning, there was, I think, a bug in this puzzle, but I quickly fixed it. But still, now to this day, people still think it's bugged, and they quit at this point. And they're like, "Fix this puzzle." It's like it's already fixed. Because they don't understand how the puzzle
I
works.
see, I see, I see.
Um, but it's also a very difficult puzzle. So yeah, I call like the House of Fun this location. Um, that's kind of the filter in Alessa where the people mostly quit.
I see. Why do you think, by the way, people give up so easily on harder games? What
I
could be the
think
case behind that?
yeah, I think it's lack of patience. I think
Okay, okay,
nowadays people want people are so busy with social media, and everything has to go fast and
true.
easily distracted. I think.
I see.
Yeah.
Can you see a change in the future in this, that people will gain again more patience and they will be more opened up to harder games with which they can challenge themselves again?
I am not sure.
Okay,
Um, I hope that would be very nice.
agree.
um,
Totally agree. Yeah.
yeah, I think I don't think that Alyssa is a hard game necessarily. I think it's more about learning the game, and you need a
True.
bit of
True. True.
patience
True.
to
True.
learn it.
True. True.
And once I set up a booth at the game convention thing, and I saw kids playing the game and teens, and I noticed that kids under the age of 10, they are very quickly at learning tank controls,
True. True.
but
True.
like people who are in their puberty, they give up instantly.
True. Very true.
They are like, I don't understand this.
That's
I
how.
quit. Something.
That's how I think. Like, yeah, because like if you think the very kid in us, when we are kids, we are more opened up to learning things, right? And we are more opened up to being creative, right? That's
Hmm.
how we are being able to, enjoy the fun times around us. And as we grow up, we realize all the problems around us, and that's how we end up being in this more less space having box which we are in then. And that's how we end up like being not that creative anymore and not that being open-minded anymore, at least in my opinion.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's what I
that's
see.
quite possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How have you changed, by the way, as a person from being a game developer in other territories of your own life?
Hmm. Um, I think I got a bit better with people
Okay.
being being weird, I guess. Like I have the Alissa community on Discord,
I see.
and there's a lot of people, weirdos, full of weirdos. But it's fine. I got very good at people. I know all kinds of people now, and it's probably made me a weirdo too now
You're
on
not
internet.
scared anymore, right?
Yeah. And like I kind of learned like how to react to negativity
Okay.
too.
Okay.
Not on our Discord. Our Discord is very positive actually.
I see.
And but like Steam, on Steam there's often like the Steam community like discussions. I mostly don't read those because it's full of negativity, and sometimes I want to like look into it. Like it's
Because you're
like
curious about it, right? What
yeah,
could happen there? Yeah.
it's like the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
Once you read it, you go crazy.
True.
Uh,
True. True.
but you're like curious what's going on there.
True. True.
But yeah, I get a bit better at it because maybe some beginner developers might feel attacked by some people who try to attack them.
I see.
Like they're like trying to call them out,
True.
and then they respond to it, and it doesn't end up looking very well.
True. True.
So that's something I try not to do. Like interact with the negativity. It's
I see.
well, if you interact like in a positive way, then it becomes a funny thing. Yeah. So I guess that's what changed me a bit.
I see. Are there any more examples that you could mention also, or you can think of?
I think I have less stress about not fitting into this like world, because
Okay.
if you're like unemployed or something,
Okay.
and you feel like you are like you don't fit in or something, and
I see.
even though like right now I don't work for anyone and I do like my hobby, it's not really different from how I used to live.
I see.
I used to do my hobby too, and but now like because I get like paid, I don't have to worry about. I don't really have to worry so much about like will I survive this month or something
I
like.
see. I see.
But yeah, so I don't have so much stress anymore like before,
I see. I see.
which is a very nice thing.
True. True. Very true. Why do you think, by the way, like you mentioned it, that some people do not consider making games as a real job? Like you mentioned this before, that people can stress about like not, fitting into the society standards, like you mentioned before. What could cause that mentality?
I think if like if you don't earn money or something
Okay.
with what you do, then it looks like just hobby or something.
True.
And people might say you have to find a real job. Like
True.
maybe my parents would be like this. I'm actually making the game, but they're like, yeah, but you're not earning anything. You have to, maybe you should do like a side job or
Provide,
something.
right?
Yeah,
They are
you
knocking
should
on the
do a
door.
side
That's
job.
hello, money check,
Yeah.
check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think once you can live from it, then it's like safe. You don't have to like do other things, or
True.
not obliged
True.
to do other things.
True. 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 Yeah, because it's a sacrifice of time, right? If you have to do other
Hmm.
things to have money and you cannot like pay attention to what you really want to do, right? So it's like
Yeah.
taking away a lot of time and effort from what you wanted to do. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the music part of the game. You mentioned that your wife is working on the music, but when you first started making Alyssa, what was the decision behind it that you really started working only on your own and not with anyone else, just your wife? Were you like scared to having like a team, or did you think like maybe your vision would be shared with others and it wouldn't be able to like make that perfect game that you always dreamed of, or what was causing the fact that you only did the game by yourself?
Um, First, I actually worked with a programmer,
Okay,
um, but he was doing it like more as a hobby,
I see, I
and
see,
I
I see,
think I was also kind of doing it as a hobby.
I see,
But he tend to like disappear
I
every
see,
now and then,
I see, I see,
and
I see, I
he
see,
probably had a very busy life, and so I couldn't fully count on him.
I see, I see, I see. It makes sense
So,
now.
so
Okay,
and that was actually the moment that I started to feel like maybe I should learn programming myself,
I
so I don't
see.
have to count on other people.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Um, but it's actually for the music. It's because she had a musical background.
I see, I see, I see, I
She
see.
she played piano since she was like 3 years old or something. She did private lessons um, until she moved to Belgium.
I see.
So that's like uh, I don't know, like over 20 years of
Okay.
playing piano,
So
and
that's a lot
she
of
also learned.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, she never really wanted to do it as like as
Professional.
something real,
Okay.
like professional.
Okay. Okay.
She didn't want to be in this very competitive world.
I see. I see. I see.
Um, and but she told me that she learned like a small course of making music,
I see.
but she never really wanted to be a composer.
I see.
Um, but I but sometimes she played something random on piano, and I asked like what is this, and she said, oh, I just made something right now, just improvisation. And I always thought like this sounds so crazy. How can you make this out of nowhere now? And so I knew she can make music, um, but she did not know anything like how to make digital music.
I see.
So I was like, I want to make something like old school.
I see.
So on PC, it was mostly MIDI, like standard Windows MIDI.
I see.
So I just gave her this app. Like, here's the first app I could find that does MIDI, and it's like, here, figure it out. but but yeah, she was able to figure it out and learn how to use it, and the music that came out of it was very good,
I
in
see.
my opinion. Uh, I'm
I
very happy
believe
with
so
what
too.
she
I believe
created.
so too because it really fits
Yeah.
the whole, image as the whole of the
Yeah.
game, in my opinion. Yeah.
Also, sometimes she made music not specifically for any area in the game,
I see.
but like I could listen to it, and then I felt like, oh, this atmosphere feels like this or this, like such environment
I
I
see.
imagine, or such situation, and then I create this environment or situation to
Nice.
so that it fits with the music. So it's
Nice.
not
Nice.
always because she makes it for the game, but also I make the game for her music.
That's lovely. That's lovely to hear. I love that. I love that story. Nice to build a game around the music itself. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah. It's really like you to like understanding each other, right, with the forms of
Yeah.
art, and not just on a personal level, but on a art level as
Yeah.
well. Lovely, lovely. I believe, by the way, that all of us creators who create our own craft, we always tend to put our inner self, even if it's experience of loss, love, or anything from the past, to the craft we
Mhm.
make. Is this statement of mine true for your work as well, when you make video games of your own?
I think that indeed I don't know if this is the correct answer to it, but I think I'm quite like stuck in the past. I don't want to go forward. I want to be stuck in
I
something
can
like
relate to that.
2003
I
or
can
something.
relate to that. I can totally relate to that. I always say this. Sorry to interrupt you, but I
Yeah.
always say this to my friends and to everyone who I've ever talked with, and I will be talking to, is that past is a very important thing in our life, and people always say that you have to move forward, you have to leave the past behind. But actually, if you analyze people on a daily, like level, daily base level, no one is truly leaving their past behind.
Mm.
Even those who are saying that, okay, I'm the best at leaving past behind, I'm now just focusing on the future and the present. No, they are lying to themselves. And I met so many people like that who were like, it's so easy to leave the past behind. And there were like, small times when they, cried or being sad about the past, because like past is going with you and people forget that. And like you said, it's very important to learn from the past, and that's how we would be able to change the future for the better. But like we are always saying this quote of like history repeats itself. Yes, because we are not learning from the history itself, right? So as
Mhm.
human beings
That's
or as
true.
society, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like I I'm just like stuck in somewhere mid 2000 or something,
I
or I
see,
wish I could be stuck
I see.
in that era. Like when I play games, I'm mostly playing on something like PS2 or something,
Okay, okay.
um, and because I actually didn't grow up with the PS2
I see,
or PlayStation, because I had Xbox and Sega
I
consoles.
see, I see, I see.
So there are so many games that I missed for those PS1, PS2. So it's like an infinite library of games that I missed, and I just keep finding them. I can keep playing them, and
Nice, nice,
it's
nice,
I don't have to play new games.
nice.
Though I do play some new games, but it's also when you get older, you don't have much time to play games, and
True, true,
I'm
true.
so overwhelmed.
More money but less time,
uh,
right?
yeah, yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
I can buy any game I want,
yeah,
but
but less time
I
to
don't
play
have
them.
time.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I see,
yeah.
I see, I see, I see. You were talking about also the future project of that you're working on, and you announced it like some weeks ago. Is it going to be a direct sequel or a prequel to the original Alyssa? What can you tell us about the upcoming
It's
project of yours?
it's actually um, the story runs parallel
Okay,
with with the main game.
okay,
Uh, yeah, so it actually starts with how Alyssa starts,
okay,
and it ends with how Alyssa ends.
okay.
It's basically like the ground side,
So the
since
frames are same, right? The beginning frame and the ending
yes,
frame. I see, I see, I see.
kind
I
of
see, I
yes,
see, I see, I see, I see.
um, because Alyssa starts with that they split up,
Okay,
and so it starts from that moment,
I see.
and and it ends with some endings. So I can't really spoil the endings,
Yeah,
but
understandable, understandable. Yeah.
some people ask me like which ending is the real ending of Alyssa, but I keep saying all the endings are real. Um,
Do you have an ending that is true for your heart and soul, that you really say that is true ending? Although you
but
say
actually,
all endings. Okay.
all the endings are real,
Okay.
because I think I wasn't. counting the parting
I see.
yet. I wasn't counting this game yet in my planning,
I see.
which created a little bit of a challenge. How am I gonna end this game?
I see. I see. I see.
But I have some ideas how to do justice to the endings of the main game.
I see.
But for the real sequel, so Alyssa 2,
Okay.
all the endings are real.
I see. I see.
It can connect. The only thing I can say about Alyssa 2 is that it's probably going to be somewhere in 1940. So it will be like 20 years or so after the first game. But I will probably make Alyssa 2 in like 10 years from now. I have about like 10 different game ideas, the games I want to make, which are not necessarily directly connected to Alyssa.
I see. I see. I see. I see. I see.
But I
But
like
I hope
many
it
different
won't
games.
take you like 10 years, because I want to play the second chapter of Elisa's story, like, you know, in 1 or 2 years. So, of course, not rush the game, but
Well, it might be 10 years.
Okay. Hopefully not, but yeah.
But I just have so many ideas. Like, I want to make sci-fi, I want to make fantasy, I want to make...
Makes sense. That's the creative mastermind in you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even already wrote most of the story and everything in concept for a prequel to Alyssa.
Okay. I was right that you are planning a prequel, see? I was right about it. Okay, it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Which will also explain more about like the world.
I see.
I want to make like basically all the games I want to make are connected with each other. And I also made another game. I don't know if you know it. It's a very small one. It's called Phoenix Corrupta.
Yeah, I know about it.
Yeah.
On HI.
This one is also connected. Yeah.
Okay.
This one is connected to Alyssa.
Okay.
But it's set in a different year, and Alyssa is not there, but it's set in a different world and year, basically.
I see.
Yeah. In the endings, you can see that there is also a normal world. Yeah. I cannot really say much, but
yeah, it's understandable. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's switch to like the editions of the first game, Alyssa. I found out that there is like a Switch physical edition about the game, but are you planning to release physical editions for the other platforms as well, platform owners of the game?
So the console version is actually handled by Top Hat Studios.
Okay.
They kind of ported the game to consoles.
Okay.
So they did it. They had to reprogram many things and make it work on these consoles. I didn't touch this because it would take me forever. It would take me like 5 years, and I kind of want to make a new game. So they took care of the console version.
I see.
And then they gave another company, put another company in charge for the physical versions.
Okay.
And I'm not fully following everything,
but
I just hear like bits and pieces. So what I heard is that the Switch version, if the Switch version does well, then they will do PS5 or something next.
I would be happy for that. I can tell you. So that's why I asked.
Yeah. So I don't know about the other like Xbox and stuff.
I see.
I'm actually an Xbox player, so I would like to have it on Xbox.
True. Very true.
But Switch is fine too. So yeah, I don't know how the physical version is going to end up looking.
I see.
So hopefully it's gonna be good.
True,
Well,
true,
it's gonna
true.
be good. Definitely gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say
Um,
that. Let's
yeah.
hopefully it will. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you planning also to have physical editions for your next games, by the way, that you want to make?
Hopefully,
Okay, okay,
yes.
okay,
Even Phoenix Corrupta was a
okay.
very small game, but even this had a physical version.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Uh,
know that. Let me
yeah,
know where I can get it, or is it about?
it's already sold out, and
Oh,
I sent a message to the publisher, but I haven't gotten any response
I see.
yet
I see.
for
I
if
see.
they will restock.
I see. Let me know about
Um,
it. Let me know about it
yeah,
for sure.
but it only works on MSX2, which
Okay.
is an 8-bit computer.
I will have to
Not
get
every
that one
Yeah,
too,
not
right?
everyone has that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly.
it's on cartridge. Yeah,
I see. I see.
yeah.
So when is the next time when we will be able to like see any new footage of the next Alyssa game? What are your plans for that, or even a demo or a showcase for anything
I'm
about it? Do you have any plans to
I'm
show?
mostly I'm mostly when I have something new, I post it on Twitter.
Okay,
Like so today and yesterday, I've been animating a bit. Uh, yeah, like 3D models for the game.
okay.
So it's a bit of a slow process.
I see.
Like,
I see.
like for example, like this week, I'm trying to put a shotgun in the game, but it has so many animations and so many things to do. And but yeah, it's like one step at a time, and
True. True. True.
hopefully
You gotta
at a certain
appreciate those
point,
steps, right?
yeah. um, but hopefully, maybe at some point, I could do a demo, but
I
I
see.
am not 100% sure yet.
I see. I see. I see.
Um, we'll see if it works, if this game works for a demo, because what I can say is that this game is going to be very different in playstyle
I see. Okay.
as Alisa. Like it still controls the same, but like how the game is presented
Okay.
is very different.
Okay. Okay. I see.
And also it has co-op. You can
Oh,
play with
I knew
friends.
it.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
Okay. 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 The little sneak peek trailer. I knew it. I knew it. I was arguing
Yes.
with my friends that it must be a co-op game, and they were like,
Yeah,
"No,
there was
no,
actually
this guy is not making any co-op." No, I was like, "No, I'm sure of it. I know the hints in the trailers. I know the hints in the trailers. Let's
yeah,
fucking go."
the previous one of the previous posts I actually said that I'm making
Okay,
a
I
multiplayer.
didn't.
So
Okay,
you can play the game solo, and you will have this other character that will act like a player.
nice.
Um, but you can play. Well, you have to play on one system.
I see.
So
So it's a couch co-op
uh,
then.
yes,
I see.
because network is very complicated to do.
I see.
Um, but some people in the replies said that Steam has uh, some function, I don't know how to call it, feature
Yeah, like a
that
share
you
play or
can play.
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yes,
know
yeah,
that. Yeah,
over network.
yeah,
So that's quite interesting.
yeah.
So I don't fully have to bother with the
True, 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 true,
complicated thing.
true,
Complicated. Yeah.
true. What was your favorite part of the process, development process of the first Alisa game?
hmm. Designing enemies, I think.
Okay.
There's so many enemies in the game. I wish I had more time to put more of them in it. um, because because I made the game with a Kickstarter
Okay.
budget,
Okay.
something like 20,000 it was. Um, in the beginning, I put so much effort in like House of Fun
I see.
that I felt like I'm already halfway my budget. How am I gonna do this? And then I had to like tone things down a little bit. Maybe some people um, some people noticed that like by the end, like it starts to become like smaller, the game,
I see,
like
I see, I see.
less variety maybe.
I see.
But yeah, I wish I had a bigger budget. Maybe I would have done more. I also released the game first as normal, like a normal version, and
I see.
but I couldn't. I had to scrap. It was so many things, like multiple endings, many features I had to scrap. It was it was super buggy. The game was almost unplayable, and but with the good sales of the release, I had a budget to make the developer's cut. Yeah, I call it the developer's cut because I'm the developer. It's a bit of a joke.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah. So I could create everything I wanted to put in the game.
I see.
But some things I could not put in the game.
I see.
I moved to the next game or games. Something I learned from one of my favorite franchises from back in the day. Now it's a bit less, but I used to love playing Halo.
Okay.
I used to play it always co-op with my brother. It's very fun, and also the developers of this game, they always could not put everything in the game that they really wanted to.
I see.
Because of time, and they moved it to the next game.
Okay.
So I kind of learned from this.
I see.
Like one small detail was actually that there is this character in Alyssa called Elise.
Okay.
It's basically the same name as Alyssa, but the A is an E.
Yeah.
She was normally going to be a possible co-op character.
Oh, I see.
So I was kind of like wanting to put co-op in the game, but I could not. So she became an NPC for like a side quest hidden thing.
Nice.
So I moved this co-op concept to the next game.
I see.
Basically.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we talked about your favorite part of the process, but what was the hardest part of the process of making Alyssa?
Most likely handling bugs.
Okay.
It was there was the real battle, the real challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I lost most time with programming and not knowing how to do it efficiently, and yeah.
And throughout the development process, were there times when you like wanted to give up because of these bugs, or you started to question yourself?
Actually, I never really had the feeling that I wanted to give up.
Okay.
Because if I gave up, then I would have to go back to doing the horrible jobs I used to do.
True. That you mentioned before, yeah.
Yeah. So when I was fixing bugs was a million times better than having to do these horrible jobs.
But it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Like I could just be at home and be at my PC and fixing
right?
things, and yeah,
nice. Okay.
yeah, and also people backed the game. They were waiting for it, and I didn't want to disappoint them.
True. Right.
There was no way I could fail this. I had to do it.
True. Looking back now to your past, like you said, you always analyze your past just like me. Do you think like you would regret the decision if you would not started or made the first step into like making video games as a career? How do you feel about that? Would you have regrets not making this decision of yours?
Definitely not. I would not regret. I cannot regret this because, like, I could say like I'm living a dream or something.
Okay, okay.
Like doing my hobby as my job.
True, true, true.
But I hope it will never turn into a job that I feel like, oh, I don't want to or something. That would be bad. But I wish I did it earlier. Like I
see.
wish I had the motivation or the knowledge to do programming.
I see.
To take the step to really learn it. Because I always felt like it's too daunting. I cannot do this, and I never do it. But then sometimes I think like I wish I could go back in time and learn programming earlier. But at the same time, I feel like I never want to make Alyssa all over again. That it took me 5 years to make Alyssa, and I don't want to do these 5 years again.
I see.
So it's good. I don't want to go back in time.
You're just reminiscing about the past, right? But you don't want to go back. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, before I will ask some more questions, because I have some more questions, are you down to answer some questions from my chat, from my community as well?
Yes, sure.
Thank you. Okay, let us know, ladies and gentlemen, if there is any question. Let us know.
There's a slight amount of lag, I think.
There's lag on my stream?
A very small amount.
Okay, let's me.
No, it's probably not. It's not too bad. It's like something like a couple of seconds. I think now.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, like about a minute, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you also experiencing lag? Because on my end it's lagging a bit. Hölgyek, urak, van egy minimális lag, meg volt eddig?
It's not really lag, it's just like a delay.
Yeah, I see
so
I
the
see it. Yeah, I see it. I'm not sure why.
Well, I see.
Interesting.
Sorry for that. I see a question when there's metal music in the game.
Oh yeah. There is a question. Yeah, Kiro, thank you for the question. Yeah. So.
I don't know. I have to ask Arisa to make metal.
True. Yeah, he's a metal fan. That's why he's asking it. Yeah.
When I was younger, in my teens, I used to listen to a lot of metal.
Okay.
Myself. Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
By the way, you mentioned that you were scared of horror games. What made you this switch or this click that after being scared of these games, you really realized that you are not scared anymore? Or are you still that kid that's still a bit scared of these games, but still making these games?
It's very hard to say. I think it's because in my neighborhood,
okay,
I had my neighbors.
Okay.
Were also like me and one of my brothers. We hang out with two boys from the neighborhood who were like slightly the same age.
Okay.
And they used to watch horror movies, and I think we did some kind of like ghost hunting or something. We did as kids.
Lovely. I did that with my childhood friends too. It was so scary, by the way. I can tell you that. I barely could walk home when it was so dark, and we used to like.
So I think this is
each other. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this must be like one reason.
I see.
I think also being curious about Alone in the Dark.
Okay.
The first game was very spooky. I liked that a lot.
I see.
But I think as a kid I was very scared of ghosts.
Me too, me too, me
Uh,
too. I'm still am,
and
and I still believe in
yeah,
monsters
yeah,
and ghosts. So I'm
yeah,
still
me too,
that
me too.
kid. So I can
Yeah,
totally
I
relate
think
to that. Yeah.
one of the only things I'm really scared of is probably ghosts or
Okay.
something, or like uh, cursed things
True.
you
True. True.
cannot see.
I will add. I
Um,
will add clowns on my side too. But yeah. Yeah.
so I think it went like slightly. Many elements made me curious about scary things,
I see.
and I remember when I was 11 or something.
Okay.
I played Silent Hill 2 alone.
Okay.
It was not scary at all. Um, but Fatal Frame, like Project Zero,
Okay.
for me it was called Project Zero in Europe.
Yeah. I remember that
That
game.
game was super scary. Like I
Yeah,
saw
I
my
know that.
brother playing
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and I I I think for a year I was scared in the dark. And I was like 12 or 13 or something. It was insanely
True. True.
scary.
True. True.
And when I play it now, just with the English dub, it's just very funny. It's not scary at all. It's very cheesy. Uh, I see some questions in the
Oh
chat.
yeah, there are. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, Minnie is asking. I will go in order. So Minnie is asking in Hungarian. Let me translate it to you. Why do you think those creators who make horror movies or games always use these dolls that you mentioned?
It depends when. I don't want to like say like oh I'm so high or something.
Okay.
But I feel like after I released Alyssa demo,
Okay.
I see more people using dolls
Okay.
in horror.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
very strange. Like is it like me that just start to focus on it, or did I like somehow like inspire the people? I don't know.
Maybe,
That would be
maybe it,
very
it could happen, right? It could happen because people are looking
because
for games, right? So they can be
yeah.
influenced from anywhere. So it totally makes sense.
But I'm such a small dev, and like maybe not everyone knows. Uh,
I think a
Not
lot of
everyone
people.
knows
I
Alyssa.
think a lot of people know your game, so I'm sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Before Alyssa, I didn't see so much the use of dolls actually.
Okay.
Just yeah, a couple of movies most
Okay.
likely.
Okay.
Like there is this The Conjuring, I think.
Yeah.
But that's based on a real story. So
True. True. True.
um, then the only other one I can think of is Chucky.
True.
I never watched that. I always thought it was kind of silly. I wasn't sure what that was.
True. True. True.
uh, yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why people use it, but I know there is. I know some people has this fear of dolls,
True. 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 True.
um, something uncanny, and I think
Yeah, because dolls, in my opinion, looks innocent, right? And people
yeah,
would not think that those innocent things can kill, right? Or
yeah,
or
yeah.
torture people. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah, and the other question was from Minnie that what could be that really deciding decision that people start to use dolls?
Yeah,
What was causing you to decide to use dolls in your game?
it was actually just because of uh, the Czech animator Alice,
Okay, okay,
who
okay.
used a lot of dolls
I see.
in this
So it
animation.
was an
It was not
influence
like
from that.
evil dolls or anything.
I see. I see. I see. I see.
It was just dolls, and I kind of liked this,
I
and I
see.
thought like zombies can easily be like dolls, and I kind of made that connection.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, by the way, and for the answer as well. Okay, let's go further with the questions from the chat. Are we gonna get more lore about the old man from the start of Alyssa?
A bit.
Okay.
In the next game, just a little bit.
I see.
But the prequel, he will show up in the prequel I want to make.
I see.
And that knowledge will change everybody's mind because
Okay.
he is something special.
Okay. Exclusive
Yeah.
information time, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay. And thank you for the question again, and the answer as well. Also about the mother and Elisa. The question goes like
Yes.
more lore to those characters as well.
There is also indeed, I have in mind another spin-off that that makes Elise the main character.
Okay.
Because I have this idea to have a small series of mini spin-offs
Okay.
called like Tales of the Dollhouse,
Okay.
which like it's a little bit of branching some
I see.
lore and some fun little games that are completely different
I see.
than Alyssa, but very connected to Alyssa.
It's really like the Soulsborne games, right? That you mentioned also, that those games also have this connection, with the tree of
Yeah,
having all those story lore
yeah,
elements
yeah.
elements in their games. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Thank you again for the question and the answer. Thank you. I'm reading next questions. Oh yeah, it wasn't a question. It's just Kiro said, I
Yeah.
think that the chill thing can or be very creepy. Or childish thing can be very creepy. Maybe that's why empty eyes, strange aura, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, true,
They,
true, true.
they feel a bit like soulless or something.
True. Very true,
Yeah.
very true. Okay, any more questions? Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any more questions? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Any more questions? Any more questions? Sorry. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Bármilyen más kérdés? Any more question? Let us know. Let us know. Hero is
Actually,
asking why the Tommy gun. No, go for that.
ah,
Go for that. Go for that.
okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. It was
No,
off
go for
topic.
that. Go for that. Go for that first, and then the question.
Okay.
I don't
No,
want you
it
to
was.
forget what you wanted to say.
So I was wondering. I'm actually me and my wife
Okay.
are very actually like quite fan of Slavic languages and countries.
Okay.
So yeah, I was actually wondering, what is there a language that's like similar to Hungarian, or is there a language
I
that's
think
similar?
yes. I think I'm not sure if my pronunciation is correct, but the Finland,
Finnish?
Finnish,
Oh, okay.
Finnish. Yeah.
So Hungarian is not a Slavic language, is it?
Let me check it. I don't want to sound stupid. Okay. Um. mm, 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 mm. No, Google says Hungarian is not of Germanic, Romanic,
Yes.
or Slavic origin. It comes from Uralic family and languages.
Okay, so that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, same language as family of Finnish and Estonian belong to.
Okay.
Yeah.
because the writing reminded me a little bit of Czech,
True. It has
like
similarity. Yeah.
visibly, but
Yeah.
it's probably completely not.
Yeah, there are some
Um,
words that resonates with the Czech language. I agree
okay.
with that. Yeah, but it's just some words, in my
Hmm.
opinion. So it's like to pick one word from, I don't know, 1,000 words, and it will resonate with that. But yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the Tommy gun. The Tommy gun is I actually don't know why I chose a Tommy gun. But I went with the one with the straight magazine
Okay.
because that's more era correct.
I
So
see.
1920s.
I see.
Because the drum mag is something later. I think that's 40s
I
or
see.
late
So
30s.
you
I
want it to
think.
be historically correct. I see.
Yeah. And it's like one of the only SMGs from that era. There are some other ones with the mag on the side. I think the magazine on the side. Yeah. So I don't know why I chose it. I think it's just it was just a choice that moment.
I see.
But it became very iconic for her.
True. Very true. Yeah. Thank you again for the question and the answer as well. Okay, let me also read the next question. Are we going to see the spy who was in the dollhouse with Alyssa?
I think not,
Okay.
but we will know a little bit more about him.
Okay.
Just slightly, I think.
Okay.
So not we will not see him most likely.
I see.
At least not in story mode. Um, it's a bit of a hint. Um,
Sorry, I had background noises. That's why I started to mute myself. Sorry for that.
ah,
Thank you again, by the way, for the question and answer. I also wonder what the blueprints are about. That is also
this will be told in the new game.
okay.
This will be explained.
Okay.
So finally people can have closure, because many people at the end of Alyssa are asking what were these blueprints, because the story of Alyssa is never really about the blueprints, but they will be a bit important.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you again for the question and answer. Argor, hi there. Also, if you want to ask any question, Argor, feel free to do that. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Feel free to ask any question if you want. Let us know. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is any more question that you would like to ask, let us know. Kiro is asking, any Easter eggs in the game?
The current game?
Yeah,
Alyssa game?
yeah. I'm assuming that he's asking for the current game, yeah.
I'm thinking actually. Outside the obvious ones, there is of course the doll introduction that
Okay.
is same as the zombie introduction of Resident Evil.
Okay.
And the Alyssa sandwich is the Jill sandwich. Those are the obvious ones.
Okay.
But I'm thinking if there's anything else. There's some very unknown stuff to most people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more like very strange things that, like, from my where I was born, is the Flemish part of Belgium. So it's the north part of Belgium. There is there are some things like series that I like from the 90s, and there are some hints in Alissa, and I think like not a whole lot of people will guess it.
I see.
It's a very small audience that will understand. So it's more like a personal joke or something.
True,
The
true, true.
personal jokes that are in the game.
I see. I
Um,
see.
yeah. Other than that, oh yeah. Well, there's one silly one is
Okay.
actually the House of Fun
Okay.
is based on the song of Madness.
Okay.
You know Madness?
I think I do. Yeah.
It's this ska band from the UK.
Yeah.
That yeah. So it's kind of like some stuff from the lyrics, like
I
literally,
see. I
because
see. I see. I see.
because
I see.
the yeah. So the song is like has like two meanings, like the symbolical meaning
Okay.
and like what you hear. It's
I see.
basically like a very censored song or something.
I see.
Like so I kind of took the literal lyrics a little bit, some elements out of it.
Nice. 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 Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
and it's also called the House of Fun. So
Love that. Love that.
um,
Love that.
yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Uh, so some more
Oh yeah, there are some more
questions.
questions. Yeah. Uh, are we gonna know about the finger of God? And are we gonna
There,
learn more about the bosses we fight in Elissa? Like the lore and their backstories?
the about the Finger of God, most likely a bit. We will know
Okay.
some more, but not where it came from. That's actually for the prequel.
Okay.
The prequel will more focus on where this came from,
I see.
um, and also the bosses. This will also be more prequel stuff.
I see.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Thank you again for the question and the answer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, speaking of bosses, which boss was your favorite to design throughout the whole process so far of making the first Elissa game?
Hmm.
And why, of course. The question
For
goes to that.
me, I think Flora was one of my
Okay.
favorites.
Okay. And why?
Um, it's like a bit like a knight,
I
but
see.
it's also a bit like a robot,
I see.
and it's I think it's like subconsciously I got inspiration from a movie or that I saw when I was very small.
Okay.
The 1920s Metropolis. I don't know
Okay.
if you know that one.
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I
so
know the movie,
the
but I
only
haven't seen it. Yeah.
yeah, it's the only thing I know is that there's this female robot who sits in a chair that stands up from this chair.
Okay.
That's the only thing I know. It's like
I see.
one of those first uh, sci-fi movies. Yeah, I think I just actually bought this movie on VHS. I found
Nice.
it here
Nice, nice,
somewhere in the
nice.
VHS shop. I found
Nice.
this,
It's
and it was
rare
only
nowadays, right? To
yeah,
see
is it?
those
Yeah,
shops, yeah, to or to find those
yeah,
shops,
yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought two movies.
I miss those times
Uh,
but where you could like rent, movies, DVDs and
yes,
VHS movies and also games. That's also a
yes,
thing
indeed.
in Europe. Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was very cheap. It was like I think it was like $1 or something for
Okay, that's
VHS,
really not a
and
lot. Yeah. Yeah.
it was like perfect condition, all nicely in box and everything, and
Nice.
I cannot resist.
I love that you have this respect for old school era
Yeah.
things, media. I love that. I love that. I love that. Ristav is saying, I hope that I'm pronouncing your name right, is that thank you for answering my questions.
Ah, yes.
Oh, there's also another question from him. Which one the endings is canonical?
All of them.
Yeah,
Like I mentioned before.
yeah, you
It's
mentioned it before at the very beginning of our interview. Yeah, like
yeah. So every ending
the true
is
endings.
canon.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let us know if there is any more question. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know, because I have some more questions to ask, but let us know if there is any more question. Let us know. More personal question from me would be, because we have spoken about the games itself that you made, but like I said, my Dev Life show is based around more personal perspective of the developers and who are in the video game industry. So my question would be, summarizing all of these things that we talked about now, do you feel like you found yourself by making games, that you are now in the right spot of your life?
I think maybe
Okay,
yes.
okay.
I think if I was younger, like I would have made. I wouldn't have made interesting games. I think. I think
Okay.
I was not adult enough
I
to
see. I see.
to make something worth it.
I see.
Yeah,
I
I
see.
think I would have made something that later I would be like, oh no, I feel so ashamed of it.
I see.
I did make things like projects I never released, and when I look back at them, I like, good thing I never released this. This is horrible.
Okay. But
And
hopefully you
so,
will go
so
back to those and reboot them, right?
yeah,
Who
you
knows?
never
Who
know.
knows? Who knows? Yeah.
Or at least take some elements from it
True,
that
true,
were
true.
good.
True, true.
Um, yeah, like I don't feel like any shame of Alyssa actually,
I
and
see.
the other games I made. So that's good. I think that's
Yeah, very true, very true.
something.
And you don't even have to, right? Because like it's a learning experience, like you mentioned, that
Yeah.
you went through these games to make. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 What would be your advice, by the way, for those people who would like to start making their own games and pursue their dreams as a career, not just a hobby? From all those
I think.
experiences that, okay, nothing.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure you have
I
some
think
advice. I'm sure. I'm sure.
yes. So I think that people like. I think you should know everything, like both art and programming, but
Okay.
at least programming. Um, so that if you start, like, if you are the person with the ideas, and you start like this group of developers, it's very important that you know both programming and at least a bit of graphics,
I see.
because people might lose their interest
Okay.
and disappear, and then your game is will never exist.
True. True. True.
Um,
True. True.
and never do it for the fame or for the money.
Okay.
Um, and like if you make a game that you want to sell, make sure that the price is right. Then that the price is something you feel is worth it.
I see.
But sometimes it's even better to go a little bit under what it's really worth.
I see. I
Then
see.
people will not be like some people easily get disappointed these days in games, but there will be less chance that people are disappointed. Like if you make a game that is short, like you can beat in 2 hours, like don't make it like €20 or something, or $20. Like, even though it took really long to make, I think it's better to have like a bit of an okay price.
True.
But it's very difficult. This is a very difficult thing. Like, this pricing part. I think you
True.
just have
I
to
agree
feel
with
it.
you. Yeah, because
Uh,
you never know who
because
will
so, yeah,
judge by the price, right? And in my
yeah,
opinion, it's not fair to judge a game by its price because, like you said, it might took a person, to make a 2-hour game like I don't know 10 years, and those
yes,
10 years were
indeed.
painful, right? So if they I don't know ask like you mentioned the $20 for a 2-hour game, that might be that 10 years of suffering throughout the
Indeed.
years, not having enough money to pay the bills, and they still made an awesome 2-hour game. So yeah,
Mhm.
people that's what I said in my past episodes of my dev live show, and also when we were talking with you in my private Discord, is that I feel like people became more judgy about everything, and with video games in general too. And I feel like it's really, if they do not have enough money, they will judge by the price, or if they do not understand the vision of what the game had or what the developer had with that game, or they are having these real life issues, they will put it to the table when they analyze and criticize these games. And it sucks because at the end of the day, these very harsh negative opinions can kill the mood of those developers, and they will be like, why I'm doing this anymore, right? Because so imagine
Mhm.
a developer would get only negative scores, then it
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be a very fun experience to make games anymore for them, right? So it makes sense at the end of the day. I'm not saying that you have to love games, it's just you have to appreciate the fun part and the good
Yeah.
parts, right? But people are focusing on the negative part more, and that's sad in my
Mhm.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one game that suffered from this was Scorn.
Yeah, I
I
remember that.
really liked the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, exactly. I remember
Yeah,
that conversation or discussion, seeing
yeah,
online from the people. Yeah. Sadly.
yeah. I'm also just quite a fan of Geiger, so Scorn was very fun for me.
I see.
Um, but also actually, I cannot really talk on this topic because I have Xbox and it was free on Game Pass. but but after knowing the game, I would buy it. It's very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hristo is saying, by the way, it sent a question that Casper, Croes, and Rumbel, if I'm pronouncing the name right, the creator of Cry of Fear, are my favorite game developers. Nice. Thank you for letting us know that.
Actually, Cry of Fear was one of my favorite games, indie games back in the day, at least. I used to play it when I was a mod,
Nice.
and it was really good. I really liked it a lot.
Do you still make
Um,
mods, by the way? Do you still make mods?
no, actually not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I wish I had the freedom of just making something for
I see.
myself,
I
but
see.
I have to. There's so many games I want to make that
True.
I
You
should just
mentioned a
focus
lot,
on
right?
that.
So
Yeah,
a lot of ideas.
I,
Yeah.
indeed. So I have to just focus on that,
I see. I see.
and yeah,
Can you see yourself having all your games in the future for us players to be able to buy as a whole collection, like Casper Croes collection, Alyssa collection, or something like that? Can you see yourself making a
yeah.
collection of all those games?
That would be very nice. Um, yeah. Um, I have this thing that I say that before I become 40, I want to have at least 10 games released.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, I'm
How close are you to
I
40, if
will
you don't
I will
mind me
soon
asking? How
I
close
will
are you to
soon
that?
be so I will soon be 32.
Okay.
So I have some years, but
I see.
well,
So you're
hopefully.
similar with my age because I'm 31. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm actually 31 too. I mean, I'm
Oh yeah, yeah,
31
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah,
but
yeah.
in
Sorry, I misunderstood you. Yeah, yeah.
yes. So in January I will be 32.
Nice, 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 nice,
Uh,
nice. Okay, so we
uh,
still have more
so
time, right, to pursue our dreams.
in, indeed. So far I got 2 games released.
I see.
It's at least something. Alyssa took me 5 years, but I learned a lot. So hopefully the next games I can do in less than 2 years
I see.
each at least.
I see.
Yeah. Phoenix Corrupta was made in half a year,
Okay.
but it was a short game. Like you can finish this in 30 minutes, 1 hour,
I
or
see.
something,
I see.
depending how good you are at these games.
I see. It's very interesting, by the way, that some minutes ago you were talking about the topic of like the exploration. So not just the survival horror aspect of what you liked about these horror games, but being curious. And I remember myself playing Alyssa for the first time, and I remember myself that I had this fear of the game, but still I was curious what I will find or will be able to find in the next rooms that I search in, you know. So it's really interesting that what you have been just talking about now, you really and your experiences with the horror genre as a consumer, not a developer, before you started making Alyssa, is really made and you delivered it into your game as well. And I think it works really well with the survival horror aspects of the game, in my opinion, because it's not just about the players, you know, being scared about what's happening in the
Hmm.
game, but also like being curious, right? So that's the mystery part, I guess we could say,
Yeah.
in that survival horror genre that adds a
Hmm.
little more spice to your games, in my opinion. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, okay,
I think one important thing is that I think when I was a teen,
okay.
I watched a lot of like horror
I
movies,
see, I see.
like like when you're in your puberty, you keep challenging yourself,
True, true,
like
true, true,
watching
true.
the most
Very true, very true. I can relate to that. Yeah.
like trying to find the
Yeah,
most
what's more scarier,
crazy.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly. And then you end
but
up not being able to sleep at night, right? For weeks. Yeah,
or or basically like for me, I got so like a bit like numb of it.
I see.
I don't feel this scariness of it anymore.
I see. I see.
Um, and I think I watched so many that I had to start watching B movies, and then
Okay.
I kind of got bored of it. I
Okay.
think watching horror, but I think like now I don't watch horror that much anymore.
I see.
Um,
You rather make it, right?
and
So it makes sense at the end of the day.
yes, but actually my favorite genre is actually comedy.
Okay.
So
It's
I
totally
think it's
different
like
in some point,
yeah,
but in some point not. I mean, we can see the connection between comedy and horror as well. Like, you know, the
yeah,
sad clown that, yeah, because there is you know a very famous book about the sad clown who like cries, you know, but still smiles at people who him
that's
who
true.
wants to entertain. And I think that's the connection between horror and comedy as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
So so for my games, I think it will always be like whatever the genre it is.
Okay.
It will always be somewhat scary and like uncanny, a
I
bit
see.
strange,
I see.
but at the same time also a bit comedy.
I see.
So there will always be these elements, like even if it's sci-fi, even if it's medieval fantasy or something, um, it will always have these elements.
I see. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, let us know if there is any more question before I will go into some questions. Let us know. Let us know. Any more questions? Any more questions? Sorry. Any more questions? Bármilyen más kérdés, hölgyek, urak? Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Hero is asking that are you planning to add like a little body in the game, like a dog or something similar to that?
Well, there's a 2-player thing, so
True,
but I don't know about pets. Like it's difficult because when you have like an animal, like a dog or something, I always feel so like you don't want this character, like this creature, to die if it fights with you. You know,
True.
it's your pet. So I rather use something
You don't
that
want to
is
sacrifice
not.
the pet's life, right?
Yeah.
True. Animal cruelty is not part of the game, sorry.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you again for the question and the answer as well. Thank you. Okay, any more question? Any more question? Any more question? Let us know. I will wait for a little bit and then go into some closing questions. So let us know. Let us know if there is any more question. Let us know. We talked about, by the way, about the difficulty part and setting of the first Alyssa game, and you mentioned that you always like aimed for this harder difficulty setting since the love and passion for old school games and Soulsborne games as well. Are you planning to have that same vision for your next games as well, for the difficulty setting itself?
I think it really depends.
Okay.
Like it's something that comes automatically.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Like it's also a bit of like balancing.
I see.
Because it's gonna be quite a challenge with the new game that you're always two characters.
True.
But I don't want people to have this feeling of like, "Ah, I have to constantly babysit my AI partner."
True.
But you also don't want this AI partner to be so strong that he can carry you.
True.
But since you're two people, always, the game might become too easy if you have like a character that is as good as you.
True.
Um, so this is going to be a very big challenge to get just right. I think Resident Evil 5 did a very good job at this. Yeah, it's gonna be quite some fiddling around until I got that perfect difficulty.
I see. Would you like to have, by the way, loot trading between the characters, like
Yes,
weapon trading, ammo trading, all those item tradings?
weapon trading most likely not,
Okay.
but it can change. If it's basically possible, but I don't know if it will work
I see.
well. But for example, like ammo, like sending ammo to the other character, sending medkits to the other character, is something I will do.
I see.
So that if you feel like the other characters is so bad at playing, or like he's so bad at combat, he keeps getting hit. But you don't. You can give your medkits to him, and he can just take care of
I
himself.
see. I see.
So that's something that I will do. I haven't worked on the inventory system yet,
I see.
but the other character can already heal himself and
Okay. Okay.
change weapons, reload, and everything. So that's already something.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Oh, Kiro is also asking, maybe are you planning to make a game like Amnesia in the future as well? Not like a copy of it, but a similar game and the worst style, because it would totally fit with your style in which you developed Alyssa.
I did think of something
Okay.
that is less combat.
Okay.
Combat. Yeah, that would be probably more Amnesia like.
Okay.
I also like first person games a lot. I always did first person actually.
I can
This is the
tell.
first project.
I had in my mind that you are also planning to make a rail shooter in the word of Alyssa. Let me know if that statement is true or not of mine, but I can have a feeling throughout the whole interview. I had a feeling like co-op, different type of perspective of the next games. I mean, that's gotta be a rail shooter, right? Because you have
You,
love for old school games, so it would make sense. It would make sense.
you mean like a real shooter,
Yeah, yeah.
like a House of the Dead and
Yeah,
stuff?
exactly.
Actually, I haven't planned anything
Okay,
like this,
okay,
but I do like to add something like this.
okay.
Like
Like a mini game or a
in
puzzle.
yes,
Okay.
like in Alyssa, you have this boss
See,
that is like a real
I'm
shooter.
getting better and better in reading people's mind. Yeah,
But I
nice.
will indeed make things like a shooter,
Okay.
like FPS. I will definitely do FPS.
I see.
Um, I might not follow the boomer shooter
I see.
trend.
I see.
I mean, lately boomer shooters are very fast-paced shooters.
True.
I like it a bit slow, and because with slow shooters you can have more this feeling of like you're vulnerable.
True. Like
You have
that,
to take care. You have
being
to
scared of
be
the
careful
situation. Yeah,
and
exactly.
uh, maybe some weapon management and stuff.
True.
Survival mechanics. I like those things.
True.
I'm quite a fan of Stalker.
Yeah, I love those games too.
Yeah,
Actually, the
I'm
second
very
part is, or the second
yes.
uh, titled part is coming
Yeah,
out soon.
I'm
In 10
very
days
hyped
or
for it.
9 days or 8 days or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
10 days,
glad
I
to.
think, something like that. Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
or 9. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, my very closing question would be, how have your perspective as a player changed on analyzing games from being a game developer now?
It was the same when I was not like a real game developer
Okay,
yet.
okay, okay.
I already did some like 3D modeling, and I did some modding
Okay.
and stuff. I never really had this feeling of like, how did they do that? Like
Okay.
I always felt like I'm seeing behind the curtain
Okay.
while I'm playing.
I see.
Um, like yeah,
Okay.
but there was still curiosity. I think like back in the day when I played Halo, I remember I like to explore,
I
and
see.
maybe many people had this like exploring outside your play zone.
True.
Like you
Yeah.
want to break out of the
Yeah,
level.
because those games were like much more limited, right? But you still like had this imaginary world in your head where you had to
Yeah,
like, develop out the sequences for yourself and to create this whole new world in an existing world, right? And to be
yeah.
able to like escape from that world. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
how people found bugs, actually, right? So they
Yes.
started to like experiment with the games, and they started
Yeah. Yeah.
to go into walls and go out from the game. I remember we
Yeah.
in Uncharted 2 multiplayer, we always like try to go in the multiplayer part segment of that game. We always try to go behind the walls because there were some
Yes.
cheaters, and we also like wanted to kill those cheaters behind the walls. So we started realizing how to get to the into the walls of those maps. So it was very very nice
Mm.
to learn those mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, there is also a closing question from Hristov. Are we going to see merchandise like plush or toys or something in the future? That's also an interesting question, by the way. I can relate to that question as well. Are you planning to
We
have
we
like
have been thinking about it.
okay?
Um,
Because that would make sense, right?
we
Also,
Yeah.
yeah, that would
That's
make
true.
total sense.
We did do the Kickstarter goodies.
Okay, okay,
There were many physical goodies.
okay,
Um, that's also a tip for people who wants to do Kickstarters.
okay.
I mean, who wants to do a Kickstarter for their game. If you're doing a game that is like kind of retro style, the people who likes retro things likes physical things.
True,
So
true, true,
it's
true,
very important to have items
true,
that
true,
you can
true,
hold. Um,
true.
like we went really crazy, and it was kind of a gamble. Um, but
True.
but we at the end we did all the physical items. We even made a physical version of
I see.
Alessa,
I see.
and the disc is like a PS1 disc. Is black.
Okay.
Um,
I didn't know that, by the
and
way.
yeah, it was very
You'll
limited.
have to
And
look up at eBay, if any people
yeah,
are selling any
the
copies of
funny part
those.
was the funny thing is there was one person who sold his copy on eBay,
Okay.
and somebody bought it.
Okay.
Um,
There are always those
um,
people who are buying and they are trying to sell like for more and more price than the
Indeed,
original price. Yeah, it's not a nice thing to do, but it is what it is, right? So
yeah, that's
yeah.
true. Um, but the disc really worked, so you could put it in your drive and you can play the whole game from the disc.
Nice, 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 nice,
Uh,
nice.
of course, the game was not updated, so
I
it's like
see.
stuck in a certain version.
I see.
This version does not exist on the internet anymore, so
Okay.
it's like a collector's version, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
That's the heritage, right? That's the
yeah,
old version. Nice.
yeah, the weird one,
Nice,
the
nice,
non
nice.
developer's cut version, basically.
Nice, nice, nice.
Um, so we have been thinking about doing physical items because
Okay.
there's no problem with producing them,
I see.
but the problem is managing everything and making
Shipping.
boxes,
Yeah,
shipping,
yeah.
and we don't know how many will be bought, and we would have to
True, true,
basically
true, true, true.
like do with pre-order system
True, true,
almost
true,
and see
true.
how many people want. And
True, true. And who really will buy it, right? Because it's just one
yeah,
thing that they want, but will really pay for it because yeah, it's not the same amount of people. Some mostly most of
indeed.
the cases, in most of the cases, yeah. Yeah.
And the problem is also that we are just like two people, and if we spend a lot of time on doing merchandise, then we will lose time for development.
True, 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 true.
And
And development is more important
yeah,
in this story and not the plushes. Yeah, it's understandable. Yeah.
and like there could be like such online shop.
I see.
There's some shops that take care of like t-shirts and
True,
prints and
true,
stuff,
true, true.
but these are also hard to trust for
True.
their quality.
True.
Like I'm a bit of a
True.
perfectionist, and
True, true,
I want to have like the ultimate quality,
true.
but it's also probably because I studied this printing industry
True,
and
true,
I
true.
kind of know what is good and what not.
True.
Um, And yeah, so it's just it's a bit of a sacrifice if we did the whole merchandise thing. So it's something that we might do. Like we might even like make a game, for example, and do a Kickstarter, but not for funding the game, but to just sell merchandise. And if there is enough people who wants it, then we say like good, we do it. It's like kind of how the crowdfunding works. And this website Kickstarter, they manage a lot of stuff.
True, it really shows that if people want it or not, right? Because it's their own money on the line, so you can back it out, or at least you can. But it's like, hopefully they won't, right? So yeah.
Indeed, yes. So we might do these limited Kickstarter for merchandise or something like for example, the parting is finished. We could say like, okay, we can make a physical version like before, or art books or something, soundtrack physical.
Nice. Yeah.
And then people can be like, okay, I want this. Then they have the time to back for it. And then once it's finished, we start production and we send it.
True.
So yeah, so they can still miss out on it because that's the whole thing. A lot of people ask me like, can I still buy these things somewhere? Or do you still have it? But I made such a limited amount that I don't have anything, or like a bit of bits of pieces I have in some boxes, but it's mostly like partially damaged by something, so I cannot really sell anything.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. I think that we discussed here a lot of topics. Do you think like we missed or haven't touched any topics that you would like to talk about? We talked about your games, your future plans, also the personal aspect of the development process. Is there anything that you would like to mention or to talk about?
Can't really think of anything
at
the moment.
It's always like that with us humans, right? With me too. That's if we are being asked to talk about something, it's way harder than
Indeed. Yeah.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
Let us know, ladies and gentlemen, if there is any more closing question. Let us know. Here is the time. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Any more question? By the way, I will include the Steam page. I did that on my Discord, but I will include the Steam page of Alyssa on the chat if people would not be familiar with the game, but I'm sure they are. So. Okay, I think that we discussed here a lot of things. Oh, there is a question. Nice, from Kiro. His last question. It seems do you feel pressure from making games? But I think
sometimes.
Okay.
I think it was very difficult to start working on Departing because it wasn't really planned from the start to make this game. It was more like the community pushed me to make it.
But you're happy with that, right? So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's a win for them and for you too.
Like it was very difficult to write a story.
I see.
But I think we got most of the story, like 80%.
I see.
So that's good. Um, it's just like I have to like I just got like 5 years of making Alessa,
I see.
and the next game I do is like another Alessa, almost the same, and I felt like there is not much challenges. Like I like to challenge myself,
I see.
and there wasn't much challenge going on. Um, and also I have to work a little bit fast because people might lose their interest
I see.
if they don't hear from me
Yeah, it's what you said
for a
before, is that
while.
like people do not have patience anymore these days, and that's
Yeah.
why like they, even if they are like, you know, hyping up a game, then they, after so many years, if the developers are working for so many years in a game, they might lose up interest, which
Yeah.
is weird for me, because for me, I always like try to follow up with the games. There are so many games that like took a lot of years to make that I was waiting for, you know, but I was still hyped for those games. But they're just me, right?
Hmm.
So it's not everyone is me. So, and but for me it's weird, because I feel like if people care about a project, they should care with an ongoing process of caring, right, about that project.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's mostly time. I'm like a bit fighting against time
I
because I
see.
know time is going forward, and days are extremely short.
True, true,
Um,
true, true, true.
it's
And you also have to
like it's
balance your everyday life, right, with the
yeah,
process of making games. So you have to find a
yeah,
balance between
indeed,
those two, and also have some free time for yourself. So it's a hard
indeed, yeah.
process. True, 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 true.
So yeah, it's often that like I want to do many things, like I want to work on it, and then like it's Tuesday, like now it's Tuesday, and like the next day it's like suddenly Friday. It's like, huh, what happened? Why is the weeks the week passed already?
True, 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 true. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and it's I still want to get like 10 games finished
By the end of your
by
40s,
by
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, and what if I get old and I will not have this this skill anymore or
True,
something? I
true,
don't know,
true.
this feeling.
I think you will have, right, because you have this
Yeah.
huge passion and great passion for making games. I think you will, but it's just really that health comes first, or should comes for
Hmm.
came first,
That's true.
right? And
Yeah.
if you won't be able to be that healthy anymore, then the process of
Hmm.
development and making games will be
Yeah.
much harder. So that's the scary part of us getting old,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's I can see that like while making Alyssa, I was living on a tight budget
I
and
see.
like really like crunch. um, and like I have to work really hard
I see.
um, and yeah, it was very bad for my health.
I see.
Um, like it's mostly that you work really long and everything is like your health is like fine, but like once you're finished, you feel like it's finished, then it comes.
True, true,
Like your body's like holding everything
true.
until you're done, and
You
then
empty
it
all
will.
out to the world, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then yeah,
yeah.
then you get all kinds of symptoms probably.
True, true,
Uh,
true. No sleep for a lot of days.
yeah,
Waiting for
yeah. Well, there
reviews
was a
and
lot of
everything.
stress.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly. Okay.
yeah. But I think I kind of got through this stress of releasing. I see a lot of like developer friends on the internet.
Okay.
They when they want to release a game, they have this stress.
Okay.
I don't know if I will have it again, but I didn't really have it with my previous game, Phoenix Corrupta. I didn't really have this stress of releasing.
I see.
Um, I did have it with Alyssa,
I see.
um, but I think the I was a bit disappointed with the fact that Phoenix Corrupta did not have much attention. Actually,
I see. I see.
it was a bit of a disappointment. I thought like people would be like, "Wow," nobody cared about it. I feel, or I mean, not as much
As you
as
wanted
for other
to.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also something I learned, I guess. Like, not to expect too much from what. Like,
True.
but when I play the game, like when I play my games, I still feel like okay, it's good. Like it's not gonna say like
That's
oh,
the
I'm so
point, right? That you are having
proud
fun
of
with your own
myself.
vision. So
Yeah, I think it's important to make a game that you can have fun with
true, very true,
by
very true.
yourself.
True. That's the
Um,
freedom of your being creative, right?
yes,
Yeah.
like not make a game for the people,
True.
but you actually don't like the game, then
Very
it's
true.
most likely not going to be
Very true.
great. Like you're making a game for somebody that doesn't exist
Very true. Very
or
true.
something.
Yeah, because
So it's better.
it will
Yeah,
end up not being your own vision, right? So you will
yeah,
sacrifice your own freedom and vision in the making process of any game that you want to make.
indeed.
Yeah.
It's also because if you make a game for yourself and you like the game, it's also you're making for a person that actually exists. So
True.
there must be people
And to
like
understand
yourself out there.
what
Yeah,
games you want to consume, right? So
yeah,
it's probably because others might share your same vision of understanding games and
indeed.
what fun in games. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. 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 We talked a lot of topics here, and I really, like I
yeah,
said before, I really, really appreciate your honesty about everything, even if it was an answer to my personal questions or about the future of your future projects with some exclusive informations which I really, really loved to hear about. And yeah, thanks for all the questions from the
yeah,
chat as well. Uh, yeah, like I said before at the beginning of our interview, I will need some more minutes with you off stream. But
hmm,
for those who are watching us, thank you for tuning in live. And
yeah,
also thank you for those who will watch back the VOD version or the YouTube edited version later this year. And yeah, thanks for being with us here today.
yeah.
It was really a pleasure being with you and an honor as well. Thank you. Bye bye,
Thank you,
everyone. Have a
and
nice
thank
day.
you, people, for joining.
True.
Yeah,
Thank you,
and
everyone.
asking questions.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a nice day and night, depending where you live, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.